I'm making this video to answer Ifanyi's question on coming to study here in Brazil and coming with your electronic device, that is your computer, your cell phone, or whatever. Now, when you are traveling outside, there is this doubt. Is it that I need to take some things like clothes, like electronics, books? Okay, the answer is quick. In case you can cover the traveling fees, you can buy the computers or the electronic devices, and you can transport them without feeling any weight. Then you don't need to, worry yourself on buying things when you land in that country. For instance, I brought my computer, I brought my phone, and I think these were the two electronic devices that I brought here in Brazil. But in case you want to economize, which is something really important, even if you have the condition, even if you have surplus, you need to always economize, because you are coming to study in a strange country, or you are coming to study in a different place that you don't know what might happen. You need to come financially strong. Well, let me quickly answer the question without wasting much of your time. And I will try to give you in numbers. I like using numbers because they don't lie. Is it worth it to buy your electronics? I'm going to use Nigeria, okay, because Ifanyi resides in Nigeria and is coming to Brazil. So let's use Nigeria and Brazil. And I have decided to use two platforms, one in Nigeria and one in Brazil, to do the comparison. In Brazil, I chose the Mercado Livre, and I also did a consultation about the trademarks, in case you decide to buy a phone and come to Brazil, you have to be a little bit strategic about that. Well, I want to clarify on the price tables that I researched. I chose two phones, and I'm going to talk about the most popular in Brazil, which is the Samsung. It's a brand that is very popular, followed by iPhone. I chose the two brands, and for the Samsung brand, I chose S21 5G with a memory capacity of 128 gigabyte with a RAM of 8 gigabyte. So on Mercado Livre, this particular phone is sold at the price of 2,760 real. You can use your browser to do the conversion. Well, I checked the same phone on Jumia, that's the marketplace in Nigeria, and this particular phone was at 360,000 naira. Now, if you do the conversion in dollars or in reals, it gives roughly a difference of about $200 to $300. So it means it is cheaper in Nigeria. Now let's go to the next phone, which is iPhone. For the iPhone, I have chosen Apple iPhone 14 Blue with a memory capacity of 256 gigabyte with a RAM of 6 gigabyte. Now in Brazil, this phone goes at the price of 7,460 reals, or in the right pronunciation, reais. In Jumia or on the Nigerian side, this same phone with the same specifications and color is sold at a price of 1,130,999 naira. So if you want to do the comparison in your country, you can do the conversion yourself and see if it's worth it to buy the cell phone or whatever it might be in your country or here in Brazil. Now that I've given you some prices of the cell phone, let's move on to the computers. Let's first of all check the price of the MacBook. So what I've selected is MacBook Air M2 2022 version. Now I'm going to make it clear that I have no idea of MacBooks. I've never used them. Just for this video, I know there are many lovers of MacBook. If I should have the opportunity of having one, why not? So this specific MacBook has RAM of 8 gigabyte with a memory capacity of 256 gigabyte. This specific MacBook is sold at the price of 8,699 real. Now going to Jumia in Nigeria, this same MacBook is sold at the price of 1,500,000 naira. Do the conversion in your currency if you are watching me in another country and see if it's worth it to buy it in Brazil or to bring it from your country. Well, apart from the MacBook, I have also searched for the price of a HP computer. Well, you need to know that when you are coming to Brazil, they mostly use computers like the MacBook, Dell, most especially in the scientific community. You have other trademarks like Samsung, Compaq, Lenovo is also very common, and they also have a Brazilian trademark, which is Positivo. So if you want a cheaper computer and very robust, also you can go for Positivo. The HP is not very common. I don't know if there is a region here in Brazil where HP is used, because it's a very big country. When you go to other places, you see them doing different things. Like you go to the south, you see them driving old cars. If you come to the north, you see them driving new cars. Like here in St. Louis, people love new cars. 5-10 years, they're like, no, your car is old. They have these variations. I don't know if it also applies to the HP computer, but from my experience, I saw few people using the HP computer. And to be honest, I spent a lot of time, doing research to compare the prices. I was lucky, to find this particular HP computer. It is the HP EliteBook G6 840. It has RAM of 16 gigabyte with a memory capacity of 512 gigabyte. So in Brazil, this particular notebook, or as they call it here, or laptop, is at a price of 2,400. Well, the same laptop is sold at 395,000 naira in Nigeria. Now, what do I counsel someone to do? As I said at the beginning, if you have the money to buy the stuff and transport it without feeling any weight, buy it from your country and then come. But if you decide to say, okay, I want to economize, then try to see the prices. You can visit websites. They are in Portuguese. You can do the consultations yourself. Now, if you are traveling to Brazil with electronics, you have to pay attention. Of course, here, there are popular brands used here by Brazilians. I'm using a Samsung to make this video. Okay, I bought it some months ago. So I'm used to the taxes here, okay? Tax rate here in Brazil is very high. But taxes are usually high for reasons. When you have social services, you need taxpayers to cover some of the expenses. That's why, things are very expensive. If you are buying a phone, you're buying it with high tax rate. But they are going to health, because here in Brazil, you have the unified health system, which you don't need to pay any penny to get medical consultations. And also the universities, public schools, they are not paid. So these taxes are channeled to, cover the expenses in those sectors that are fundamental in a society. Now, what is important in giving you the statistics? If you come to Brazil, if you have a phone within this range of brands, you can be able to have an assistance. What is important is finding the spare parts. Sometimes it's very difficult to find spare parts. If you are bringing a very strange phone, for instance, Techno, coming from Africa, you're going to find it very difficult because they don't have spare parts. They might have to import the spare parts, which is very expensive. Well, from these evaluations, I hope I have helped you. See you in the next video.